11-ish, 11:30-ish. What time zone are we in, Ken?
Mountain 2 hours time? Difference from home.
Mountain time, I believe. We were heading into Amarillo again, and the vibration I was feeling driving was getting a little bit worse as the day went on, so we took a look at it as we stopped for gas and decided... Ken, what did we decide? What are you doing under my Jeep?
So you had a vibration, I checked it out, and your drive shaft is not happy with life. So we're going to pull it out in an effort to maximize our wheeling ability, because if you kick this thing on the highway, we're screwed. So we're going to pull it out. When we get to our wheeling destination, we'll put it back in, we'll do our wheeling, and we'll take it back out again. I have going to have some phone calls out first thing in the morning, try to locate us a new shaft. Hopefully we can get one in a timely manner.
It served its purpose. It is the original drive shaft, which has been rebuilt a few times, from 1997. And, you know, maybe we should have some sort of a service for it when we pitch it in the trash here in a few days. But it lived a long, hard life. And, you know, can't really complain. Right?
I don't know how you could.
You get 23 years out of it, is not bad, right?
I think I've rebuilt it twice in the 12 years I've known you.
That's probably true.
And when we did leave our trip, it was good.
So that shows that we have been doing some off-roading, not just driving, right? So we are at the Wigwam Motel in Arizona, I don't know, Route 66, and I found the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen. It is a VW camper. How amazing is this?
Alright, so you've already been watching all of our videos we release on every Wednesday. Basically this is a recap, talk a little bit about the trip, some of the stuff that wasn't in the videos, our thoughts, our impressions.
What comes next?
What we're going to be doing next. We're actually already in the planning stages of next year's trip. We're going to attack things quite differently, and what's coming up this year to prepare for that. So we've got a lot of changes to make it happen in a short period of time. So, what is your overall thought of the trip? Just broad spectrum overall thought.
I mean, it was awesome. I don't know what else to say. It was a lot better. We did a lot more stuff than I thought we were going to do, like when we were talking about it, but we also did pretty much none of what we were talking about doing.
Correct.
So it was really weird because there were certain things that I was really looking forward to seeing, and you know, we had talked a lot about doing Rubicon and Moab, and we didn't go close to either one of those places. But overall, I thought the trip was better than what I had expected.
I agree. So yeah, before we left, we literally went through like a whole spreadsheet, basically, an Excel spreadsheet of places we want to go. And we ranked everything from like must see to kind of want to see to well, it'd be kind of nice to see.
If we're in the area.
If we're in the area.
Right.
And the minute we got to St. Louis, every single thing we thought we were going to do or might do went out the window. Problem is, when you're cruising on the highway, me and him are pretty malleable people. You're cruising on the highway, you're like, oh, Southern Missouri Off-Road Park.
That looks cool.
We're only 30 minutes away. We didn't even know we were going to be driving by it. We're only 30 minutes away. Why would you not go see it? And then, because we just did such a huge variety of stuff, we never even had time to go to Moab or Rubicon. So, like, it was just, we never had time to go much north of kind of like what our route took us.
Yeah, no, seriously. What was your favorite thing that we did or saw?
Honestly, we did so much stuff that was unexpected that was hard to prepare for mentally. Like when you're planning a trip of this size and like, you know you're going to go to destination A, you kind of already got that built in your head a little bit, whether it's good or bad. We did a lot of stuff we weren't planning on, like we went on the Jeep cave tour.
Yep.
I had no idea that even existed, and it's like, it was kind of cheesy-ish, but it was pretty damn cool.
No, I really like that.
And then like when we're making our way back, we stopped at that big, the United States largest crater.
Oh, the crater! I forgot that was awesome.
That crater, we got no video of it because we were so not prepared for anything.
What was not Crater Lake, because that's up in...
It was just Crater something or other. It's in New Mexico, I think.
We'll link it here. We'll put a little thing in there. But yeah, it was awesome.
I didn't even know it existed yet. We get there, the crater's so mind-blowing huge. It's like
I got sold on those billboards that you always see on the highway.
Yeah, the little tourist billboards.
That's awesome.
They're on the tourist billboards, and I was like, hey, that'd be kind of neat because we got nothing to do for 20 minutes, so let's do it.
I'll say that out of all of the stuff, and a majority of what we did was pretty much unplanned. Like not in our original itinerary, I should say. But the 3 days that we spent at Big Bend, I think was probably the coolest, stuff that we saw.
My favorite.
The terrain was awesome. It was so remote, no cell signal for
2.5 days.
It was, it was crazy, and it was a lot of fun.
My favorite thing you said from that whole entire 3-day trip at Big Bend, we're cruising down one of the trails or whatever, and you said, this is literally some of the prettiest two-wheel driving I've ever done, because it wasn't hard. Most of the stuff we did, nothing was even remotely difficult. It was just some of the most beautiful scenery in America that you could go to. We're cruising, he's like, yeah, we're in two-wheel drive, we lowered down to 10 pounds because it was really rocky, but it wasn't even vaguely difficult. You could have done it in an S10.
And I still blew out my stereo, and my passenger door swung open, and I cracked the interior door panel.
So what you're saying is time for you to buy a new Jeep.
But, hey, eventually.
That's what they make ratchet straps and super glue for.
Yeah. We didn't really hit too many problems along the way either, right?
No, we had a pinion seal that leaked a little bit, but it wasn't even worth stopping to fix.
It was more body damage than anything. Mostly on your...
Yep, I got some body damage on the JL in that rear corner when we're in the Pinion Mountain Trail.
Yeah.
A little bit of body damage, but nothing major, nothing consequential. A tail light that I super glued back together because needed some new ones. That'd be a good reason for an upgrade. When you damage stuff, that's why we upgrade. But no, we actually literally had no damage whatsoever that we even cared about.
No, none at all,
Because it was not what I would call an even remotely hardcore wheeling trip. It was more of a scenic two-tracking. It was more of a scenic two-track, cruise the country, kind of just go experience stuff we've never experienced and do some light off-roading on
the overlanding / camping piece of it. I think was awesome for me. I've not done anything like that.
The food's ridiculous.
The food was good. We ate a lot of tacos. It really turned into a taco tour. Is really what it turned into.
It was a taco tour.
Tacos every day. We got laughed at in El Paso when Ken asked for mild salsa. The waiter laughed at us and then walked away, didn't say anything, and didn't bring any salsa back. So apparently we took that as that's the Molly.
Well, and then we went to the one. We were at that. I don't remember where we were. It was after Glamis, I think, and I wanted to order tacos, but I didn't speak Spanish, so you had to order for me.
Yes, there was that.
But I was like, what kind of tacos do you want? I said something, the lady looked at me funny. I looked at Bob, and he was, did he order? I'm like, I just want steak tacos. I don't know how to say that. So.
And we found the best tacos in Barstow at Rigoberto Brothers. The carne asada, we each had 8, I believe, 8 tacos.
That was part of hands down.
Quick lunch.
They'll do those links for them as well, because out of the whole tour, by far, hands down, they had the best tacos.
And I think also what made that place awesome was that was when we were having those issues with our CBs. And that was the day that I bought a new antenna. We stopped at that pawn shop and you bought that CB for yours that didn't amount to anything. It was just a big waste of a day. And then you're like, screw it, let's go find some tacos. And we found that place and they were amazing.
After wasting like $300 on CD and equipment because we couldn't get CDs to work.
Which we
finally bought handhelds and it worked great.
It worked great.
We're like, screw this crap. Handhelds for $100? Not a bad idea.
Done. So okay. So Anyway, trip was awesome. So what's coming up next? What do we?
So I think next year we're going to change the tone of the trip a little bit. I want to still do all the overlanding and that kind of stuff, but I want to focus a little more on actual wheeling.
Yeah.
I want to go out there and I want to challenge the Jeeps a little harder. I was totally cool with not doing a whole lot of wheeling the last trip because I didn't care. I just want to go experience, have a good time, hang out with you, get some good tacos. I think this coming year, I think the current plan is to put 2 Jeeps on a semi and ship them over to California, and then we'll fly over, pick up our Jeeps from a current undisclosed location. I will say thanks to Rusty's Off-Road for helping making that whole process happen though. But we're going to ship the Jeeps out to California, we'll fly out, jump in them, and then we're going to actually hit the Rubicon for 2-3 days. I'd like to catch a bunch of the small stuff that's kind of fun in between, kind of like what we did on the last trip. But then maybe hit Sand Hollow, Moab, maybe hit a trail or 2 in Colorado, and then come home.
Yeah.
But the
thing is, come across a lot of things that we don't plan for, just like we did this week.
That's why I'm not planning anything. But I figured Rubicon, Sand Hollow, Moab, Colorado, come home. But there's gonna be a bunch of crap in the middle that we're gonna find, just like last trip. I think the big advantage is shipping them out there. It saves us like
A lot of time.
There's a small difference in finances, but I mean, a trip to that scale, $2-3 one way or the other is not going to end your trip. So.
No, and I will say though, I took a detailed log, which I didn't share at all in any of the videos, of all of our gas stops. So I know exactly how many miles we drove.
So for the whole trip, what was your fuel bill?
I didn't add it up yet.
Oh, man.
So I'll do it for this video. I'll put it at the end. It was a lot more than your fuel bill was.
Oh yeah.
The only calculation that I did make was my miles per gallon for the trip. And I don't remember how many gallons I used or total miles off the top of my head, but the number that did stick out was 8.5 miles per gallon for that entire trip over 3 weeks or whatever it was. So.
That's awesome because he's on 35s, I'm on 37s. My Jeep is probably significantly heavier, being a 4-door, but it is aluminum body, so who knows. I was getting roughly between 14 to 16.
Yeah.
So
I did hit. I don't remember where we were. I think it was in the desert going through New Mexico. I did hit. I believe it was 16 miles per gallon for a very long stretch until Ken wanted to choke me because I almost overheated my little TJ.
He gets the bright idea to draft a semi, which in theory is great.
It was so awesome. It was 97 degrees. Yeah. And I just saw the temp gauge start climbing and it wasn't coming back down.
He's drafting the semi, he gets no airflow, we had to pull over and wait for an hour. I'm like, you're an idiot. How'd you not know to do that? He's
like, what did I say? I was like, I'll get 16 miles. I've never gotten that.
He's like, I saved $2. I'm like, I'll give you your $2. Let's go.
Anyways, other than that, it was not so good. But I don't know, somehow I'll fit in all the miles that we drove.
Some statistics.
And all that stuff. Yeah. And then I did take, with the GPS app, all of the trail stats for all the times that we off-roaded. So how far we went, the elevation changes, and points of interest that we saw, and all that stuff. So
we should see a little bit more drastic changes for this coming trip.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So
for the coming trip, anything that makes you nervous?
Yeah, so we were looking at some places to wheel in Sand Hollow. I don't think either one of us are too familiar with what there is to do there. So just looking at some of the trails that are available and whatnot. And I sent you a link to one the other day.
Yep.
And I don't know what emoji name it was, but it was like I crapped in my pants emoji or whatever it is. That one, yeah, man, that's a little bit more extreme than I'm accustomed to in my little TJ. So
sad.
The chances of flopping are very real next year. That like I said, most of this trip was 2-wheel drive. There was times where we hit 4-wheel drive. I even turned my lockers on. You made fun of me a lot, but that's fine. But this trip next year is not going to be any joke.
No. See, so I've spent a large portion of my career building Jeeps to go wheeling and owning Jeeps that do more radical stuff. So. The last trip we just took was actually a total change of pace for me because I'm used to really having hardcore crap. And the whole time we're on the trip, I kept looking for that stuff, but I kept forgetting about it because I had so much fun, just enjoying the great outdoors. And I couldn't believe how well you can cook with having nothing. Literally, he pulls out some steak and a little bit of crap, and next thing you know, I'm like, this is like gourmet food in the middle of the freaking desert. I've never eaten
more cooking kitchen things coming next year too. I did buy a few things.
I couldn't believe the food he was feeding on this whole trip. I'm like, dude, I don't eat this good at the damn steakhouse in town. It was killer. So that trip was killer because the food was great, the scenery was good, just the atmosphere and the ambiance. Everything was amazing about the whole trip. It's a total change of pace for me, which really took me out of my element. Yeah. But I'm glad you did that because I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad we did it because it was just, I don't know, man, it's probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. That being said, I really want to do the next trip and have much more difficult wheeling obstacles and stuff. Mind you, we do have to still keep some self-preservation in mind because we still have to drive home. Yeah. So we're doing the Rubicon Trail, there'd be stuff that we'd go, yeah, we can maybe do that. You want to chance it. I might attempt something once, but if it feels like I got a rage on my Jeep, I'm probably not going to beat the crap out of it because I still got to get home. Well, I don't want to end the trip early either.
No, and that's one of the things that really stuck out to me. I think it was day 2 or 3 when we were in Disney. And that's one of the things that you said, that would be so awesome to climb this waterfall or whatever we were doing, but it's a third day of a 3-week trip. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart about it.
How many times on the whole trip did I go, man, I wish I had my yellow Cherokee.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right?
My yellow Cherokee is built for just flat out rock crawl. You can beat and rage the crap out of it. You're not gonna hurt anything. So if I'd have been towing that on the truck, we'd have had totally different footage. But I don't think the trip would have been any fun because you're not exploring the whole country with your buddy. You're just going wheeling then, and that's what I always did was just go wheeling. So I kind of like this whole new concept, just traveling around and seeing the world because There's so much out there, man.
No, that's you know, a lot of the stuff that I've done. I've never done this hardcore stuff, right? So we did a little bit of my trip this year. Now we're gonna do your kind of flavor of the trip next year. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm also
nervous.
A little bit nervous.
Well,
because
I know how you feel because I was nervous. When we were getting ready to leave for your trip, like we're gonna be in the desert for 4 days. I can't feed myself. I'm screwed. Like now you're thinking like I got the food, but holy crap, this guy's gonna make me go wheeling. You just have to believe that I built your Jeep right.
Oh, the Jeep, no doubt. It's my, you know, my abilities are going to be pushed more than my Jeep.
Well, and you're going to be spotting me in situations you're not used to me being in.
Well, that's
so like we're going to work on some communication and work on our bonding skills. Yeah, it'll be an interesting challenge, but again, like we can't just destroy our vehicles. No. You know, I mean, self-preservation has to be in the front of your mind, or you're just going to beat crap up, and finding parts can be a pain in the butt.
Oh, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
No cell signal is what we found.
Yeah.
So that said, what's up for the Jeeps here in the winter? Anything?
We're gonna have a crap ton of videos for you because I'm basically gonna rip everything out of my brand new JL and we're gonna start over.
It's gonna be awesome.
Because I can.
The boxes have arrived.
The pile of parts we have for the JL, basically everything from the floor pans down is gonna change. We are gonna keep stock axle housings, but there's gonna be a bunch of crap going inside the housings. And on the housings and wrapping all the way around them and all sorts of stuff. We're going to change a lot of the JL.
Yeah.
We got some minor things to do for yours. We're going to get some Rotopax cam mounts.
Yep.
We're going to custom build some mounts for that.
More maintenance again.
We're going to do some more maintenance to it. We've already done a little bit of maintenance since he's gotten home. There's a few small things I'd like to do to yours, but not overly worried. His has been built for much longer than mine. I've been building his for years. It's pretty dialed in. It drives really good. I was really happy with how well your Jeep performed.
I was actually, and I think I mentioned in our preview video, that, you know, mine's a toy. It's a, you know, third, fourth vehicle. You know, it doesn't get driven regularly. It's just more for trail use and stuff. And I've been averaging, you know, about 2,000 miles-ish a year that I've been driving it for like the last decade.
You did what, 10?
And then we did, I don't know, maybe 6,000 something, whatever we did, you know, in like a 2.5 week period. I was very nervous about how well it was going to hold up, but man, no issues.
Dude, it was phenomenal.
It was no issues.
So like, you did kill a drive shaft in the front, but it's not that you killed it, it's that it was the original drive shaft from 1997 that I've rebuilt twice, but the splines got wore out.
Yeah.
So like literally the splines just had some chuck to it, he's picked up a vibration, and so we just unbolted it, put some electrical tape around it, ratchet strapped to the frame.
And that was only the last like 2 days or 3 days though, so it was not like a huge thing. I think what was the last trail?
It was still good for wheeling. We just picked up a vibration right around 70, so we just ratchet strapped it to the frame and drove home.
Yeah.
Wasn't a big deal. So he's got a brand new drive shaft we just built for him. I really don't think we got a lot to do yours.
No.
Some
like
minor
just some maintenance items, nothing major. You know, I've been toying around with the idea of, you know, tossing more things into it or buying a JL, and eventually I'm going to buy a JL, so I think the TJ is pretty much set for...
Everybody comment, tell Bob to buy a JL.
I will say that the TJ is going nowhere.
Yes.
I am never going to get rid of that thing, and it will still get wheeled, and it will still get driven, but I think I'm done with like the huge modifications and upgrades and stuff to it. I think it works. It can go pretty much anywhere I want it to go.
It does what you want it to do, and it does it well.
And it'll do more than what I'm comfortable with.
Well, and your wife loves driving. There's no point in getting rid of it. You don't owe any money on it. But nope. I think a GL for these bigger trips, you would probably enjoy the.
I really would like the extra room inside. So, you know, like I said, it was an overlanding trip. Ken looked extremely more comfortable in his JL than I felt I was in my little TJ with my hammock spread from corner to corner. I'm not a very tall guy, you know, a little over 5'7". But I still couldn't straighten my legs out while I was sleeping for, you know, 2.5 weeks. Other than a couple days we got hotels.
I had no problem.
So yeah, and you know, plus with all the gear and stuff, you had to carry a lot of my gear, which was kind of annoying. I didn't even have my passenger seat in, to save some space, and there still was not much space in there. If we were doing shorter trips, it probably would have been better. But I
had space left over.
Yeah, I think long term, definitely, you know, a JL build is in my future. So
totally.
But,
yeah. No, we're gonna have a lot of videos coming out really soon. Like I said, this is the last one of this series. We're not gonna really talk a whole much more about this. Now it's time to get these vehicles prepped. And we got a bunch of other stuff. We got a bunch of new products that are coming out from some companies that I want to do some videos on.
Yep.
We got a JT we're getting ready to do some work on. We've been building a lot of JTs for customers, so we're gonna try to highlight some of that stuff for some of you guys that might get some JTs, because I think that'd be a perfect vehicle for some of this overlanding stuff.
Absolutely.
I think it's probably actually be like the new overlanding hotness. There's a lot of companies coming out with some pretty cool products. There's probably even more companies that are coming out there. They're just Chinese junk on Amazon. We're going to try to highlight some of the more name brand, American-made, quality stuff. There's some really good companies out there, you know, Rusty's Off-Road, JCR, right here in Michigan. You got Metal Cloak, Rock Crawler. You know, there's a lot of good American companies to choose from. You know, Cav Fab. There's a lot of American companies. You don't have to buy Chinese crap these days. So we're going to try to focus maybe on a little bit of JT stuff for you guys. We got a whole bunch of crap we're going to do with my JL. We might change oil on his.
Change the oil.
Change the oil.
I might, I don't know. I'm getting kind of excited about thinking about planning another trip like this. So I know the last one took. I mean, we had been talking about it for a long time. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 months of actual planning. But you know, we've been talking a lot about it, and going into next year, I'm kind of getting excited again, like I did about this time last year when we kind of got started building and planning and everything, and really looking forward to it. It's gonna be an awesome trip.
Cool, so why don't you hurry up and plan it then? I don't like that part.
I just want to cook, that's all I want to do. Cook and wheel, and just go see the country.
I guess I'll plan it.
It's your trip.
My trip?
It's your trip. I did that, well.
So the only thing I'm planning is where the Jeeps are going and where we're parking.
And you know what, we did that last year too, and
we didn't do anything.
We didn't do any of it. So we'll see where
I'm literally planning where the Jeeps are shipping to, and then we'll sync our flights to fly in.
We're gonna have to fly in here, pick them up, get an Uber.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get an Uber from the airport to where the Jeeps are gonna be. We're not going to disclose that location yet.
Because they'll have our keys.
They're going to have our keys. And we got a pretty cool company helping us out with that. So we're going to get those shipped out west. Like I said, we got a pretty cool company helping us out with that. We'll end up doing a video just all about that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then from there, I'm not going to plan anything.
We're going to figure it out.
I don't plan crap. We're going to go to Rubicon when we pick our Jeeps up after hitting like a Kroger's or whatever the hell they got out there. And that's it. I don't know. From there,
Sand Hollow, Moab?
Yeah, and we're going to do our trip much later. We're going to do it like probably like end of July, early August, mid-August, somewhere in there, we don't know yet. Because a lot of the stuff we want to hit is more northern from where we were last year, and there was a lot of snow issues. And we knew we could probably run into that, and we didn't really care, we went anyways. But this year we're planning it much later in the season to be able to go to the places we want to.
So he'd get his flip-flops on sooner.
I'm not taking
it took a week. So we left, it was the beginning of April, end of March, somewhere around there. It was 50 degrees, which is, about average, I would say, in Michigan for that amount of time. And it took a week before we got to something warmer. We were like, oh, we're going to Texas. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so hot. It was 27 degrees when we rolled into
Dude, it was so cold. It was so cold in Texas that I woke up, there was frost on the inside of my windows. I was like, I thought this is Texas. What the hell?
Yeah, so
another thing is, we didn't get any video, and I'm really bummed. We got no video of you showing your cool trick stunt skills on electric scooters.
So, yeah, that's a video for another time, maybe a discussion.
Maybe not.
We'll just say that we had some down days where we didn't film, we didn't wheel, we just kind of
went to the beach.
Just kind of relaxed, and
Bob broke out his 1980s rad video, and we started doing some trick scooter stuff.
Lime scooters. They're fun.
Yours was Lime, mine was a different company. Bird. I had Bird.
Did a Bird, I had Lime. We raced.
They're not waterproof either.
We raced, one of us fell, almost broke an ankle, but was able to walk.
Looked like you took an axe to your leg.
Anyway, so subscribe, follow along.
Please.
A lot of JL stuff coming up.
Some JT
builds coming up.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff coming up, so follow along and
we'll get ready.
We'll have a great time.
Yeah. See you guys.